Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Lydia, and here is her story. Hi, Ollie. I hope you're well. I wrote to you a couple years ago, fresh in the no contact. Yeah, I did a video for her. The narcissist doesn't want you to exist. That was like 2 years ago. I have kept that up, and at 23, I feel lucky to have got out so early, but I still can't shake the doubt and some guilt. I have guilt over me getting out of the toxic environment my covert narc single mother created. By going no contact, I knew my mother withhold any access to a relationship with my younger siblings. I haven't seen or heard from them in just over 3 years now. The same goes for the rest of my family. It turns out that when I needed them to validate what happened to me, they would rather sweep it under the rug and pretend that nothing happened, invalidating me than blaming me for how I felt. Right. Because they don't want you to really exist. So they don't want to validate your feelings, and everything that happens to you has to be swept under the rug like it never happened. Remember, they don't want you to exist. So if you don't want something to exist, what's the easiest thing to do? Sweep it under the rug. So that left me on my own completely. For the most part, I have been much better on my own and have gotten a lot of clarity of thought back. Though I still struggle with trusting people and low self-esteem, it's a lot better. There's a couple things I wanted to ask your opinion about, and I can't remember if I addressed them in the first email all that time ago, but I will ask now. So as a teenager and preteen, I was depressed. This was expressed in internalizing any hurt feeling and eventually led to self-harm. Though I kept it a secret, sometimes in desperation, I would speak to a teacher about it. That's what they advise you to do. The teachers are basically useless. So on a couple of occasions, yes, I know I should have learned the first time, I would have a supportive conversation at school, only to get home and be berated, screamed at, told that I am disgusting for being dragged into a GP as an emergency appointment, where my mother would proceed to give me the silent treatment while explaining for me how I was feeling to the doctor, acting like she was concerned. I would also like to note she would never let me see a doctor alone until she kicked me out at age 18. I just want some validation from someone in the know that isn't love. Yeah, obviously. She doesn't want you to see a doctor alone because she doesn't want you to tell them the truth. She is being reflected on badly by me. That's why I got punished. Let me know what you think. Yeah, well, she doesn't, because she knows why you're depressed. The reason why she's doing this is because she knows she is the reason why you're depressed. So that's why she has to control every interaction with you. So fast forward sometime, late teens, my narc mom and enabler stepdad got back together. I dreaded this. They had a 10-year on-again, off-again relationship, and I would always get ganged up on more when they were together. When they were split up, I was used as a gopher to gather information about one to the other and tried my best to play peacekeeper. I was so unhappy when they announced he was moving back in. I knew my mother had an ulterior motive, and it still eats me up to this day. Right, another reason, this is another reason why she didn't want you to exist. Because I am sure she used you as an excuse of why her fucking shitty relationship wasn't working out. She told me she would get back with him because she wanted another baby. She got her wish, and shortly after she got pregnant, she broke up with him. Before the pregnancy was announced, I tried to make my own life, and I was placed in the hospital. Around a month in, there is a big review. My mom, my aunt, my gran, 2 of my teachers from college were also in attendance. In front of everybody, she broke down crying, claiming that I was a danger to her and my brother, and that she couldn't have me in the house. This broke me. Right, because she doesn't want you to exist. She wanted the other baby at that point, but she didn't want you around anymore. She got all her usefulness out of you in childhood, and then once you were getting older, what did she want? She wanted another kid. And then to vilify you as if you never existed. What the narcissist does is sweep you under the rug. It's not even the abuse they want to sweep under the rug. It's you. You. Remember your first video. They don't even want you to exist. They want to sweep you under the rug. Not even what you did. You. You. Not what they did. Not because they want to do it again. They want to sweep you under the rug. This broke me. I would never ever want or even try to hurt them physically. This is a total lie. This total lie gave her leverage in the future. She stopped talking to me after that, sending my stepdad in her place, claiming to be too stressed to see me. It's only later I found out that she cleared my bedroom after 6 weeks of me being in the hospital. This information came from my stepdad, This information came from my stepdad, though, so I can't be sure that it was true. When the two of them broke up again, my mom showed up pregnant. I bought all her victimhood stuff, hook, line, and sinker. Well, yeah, now she realized she probably could use help raising your sibling. She don't really want to do it on her own. My mom was back and I was excited to have a little sister. I felt bad for turning my back on my stepdad when he was there and she wasn't. I just believed her and forgave her in my mind for the months she left me in the hospital and didn't bother to visit or even call. Now she was back in the picture. She convinced the medical team to move me to a hospital close to where she lived. This was the worst place I ever had to endure. From this, she started seeing a family therapist the hospital provided to us. I went to one session and left halfway through. Once again, my mother was talking for me, and I found myself scared to tell the truth. Her glare could make me scared even in the hospital when she couldn't do anything. Do you know why your mother had you hospitalized? Because she needed to deem you as crazy, because if you started talking about what she did to you as a child and why you were depressed, they probably would have taken your sister away from her. She needed to sweep you under the rug. And she needed to do it and deem you crazy at the same time so nobody would listen to you. This led me to being diagnosed with Aspergers, a diagnosis that has never been mentioned before, not in the entire 6-month hospital stay until she came along. So you were in the hospital for 6 months for Aspergers? This was based solely on information my mother gave them of me as a child. This diagnosis was a tool to absolve her of any guilt. Right. And this is where I talk about the autism Asperger's lie that is perpetrated. Your mother is one of these people. Okay? These abusers who hide behind these fucking bullshit diagnoses. It wasn't her abuse that made me sick. I was born a problem. And poor her to deal with that as a single mother. I'm being sarcastic here. I hope you can see that. Eventually I got out and moved back home. I lasted 6 months before I had a minor episode due to trying to complete college while being medicated, and she wouldn't let me reduce my meds so I can function. For context, I was on an antipsychotic at maximum dose, even though I never displayed any psychosis. They did this at the hospital to control the patient so nobody had the energy to do anything other than be compliant and sleep all day. I also couldn't cope with any of the guilt my little sister isn't getting any contact with my stepdad. She kicked me out after this. Later, because you were going to be a problem again. Every time she fears you as going to be able to expose her, she kicks you out. She sweeps you under the rug. Later, I was told by her that he was emotionally abusive. I never saw it as intensely as she said, but I can't be sure who's lying at this point. It doesn't matter who's lying at this point. They're both liars and they both enable each other's bullshit. The problem I have with that is she supposedly knew he was abusive. Why would she send me and my little brother, his son, to stay with him? Because she's a fucking selfish cunt. That's why. That's why. Wouldn't you want to protect your kids at all times? No, she just wants to sweep them under the rug. She likes the attention she gets from them. She doesn't like actually being a mother and raising them. This is getting long. I hope some of this resonates with someone out there. I guess I'm looking for validation and some insight from someone in the know. It doesn't matter how many qualifications a person has. Unless you've been through it, you don't have a clue. Take care, Ollie, and all survivors out there. Lydia. Well, Lydia, I'm glad you're out. I'm glad you're away from these people. But understand, your entire life, you've just been getting swept under the rug. And you have to understand the reason why is because every time your mother does it is because she's at a point in her life where you could possibly expose her and fuck up her little plans. That's why she does it. Just like in the first video, she doesn't want you to exist. They just want to sweep you under the rug. That's it. So, I hope that helps. Thank you again for another contribution and story, Lydia. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help you can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance.